And a high fly ball to deep left field into the night. A 2-run second deck home run for JT Realmuto.
Yo, what's poppin' with it? We back at it again. Gen Sports Corner back at you for August 7th, 2022. You already know what time it is. Big win by the Fighting Phillies last night, 11-5 over the booty-ass Nationals. Great win. Balls flying out the park. Bats came alive. But before I get into the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps out. And make sure you go ahead and click that notification bell. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. It helps with the algorithm. And we're going to keep this thing pushing to 500 and eventually 1,000 and beyond. Buzz Lightyear style. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Talk about this. Let's keep it real, man. The Phillies are rolling right now. I love what I saw last night. They've been doing a lot of good things with Bryce Harper on the men. Segura back in the lineup. First inning, we just laid it on them, man. 6 runs. Rhys Hoskins immediately comes out and knocks one over the fence, man. 23rd of the year, just crushes it. I think 441 feet to left field. I mean, the MLB average is 399 feet. He just looked at that, waved goodbye, and just said, "I'll see you at 450." Great way to start the game. And then we get a couple guys on base. 2 outs. Matt Verlin knocks a homer to left field to give us a 4-0 lead. Brings in Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos. And then Bryson Stott hits a triple. And Gene Segura, who got on base, he comes home and scores. As well as Edmundo Sosa. So that made it 6-0 in the first inning, man. Look, Ranger Suarez, if you can't win with that lead, then I don't know what to tell you. But he came out, he pitched very well. He ended up coming out and getting the dub. You know, he's 8-5 in the season. Great pitching performance by him last night. And then the second inning, we came out and laid some more on him, man. JT hits a triple to right field. Alec Bohm comes in and scores 7-0. JT's on base. Nick Castellanos, he singles, line drive to right field to Lane Thomas again. 8-0 Phillies. Then Edmundo Sosa doubles on a line drive to left fielder Joey Meneses, and Castellano comes in and scores 9-0, man. 9-0 after the second inning. The game was pretty much a lock after that point. And the Nationals, we know they're really bad right now. We understand that. They're rebuilding. They're not that good. But, I mean, there's a reason why they're, I believe, 32 games back. They're really bad, right? And you have former Phillies over there, Michael Franco, and used to play second base for the Phillies as well. His name's eluding me, but they have to sit on that opposite bench and look at the Phillies right now and see the team that they could have been on versus the team that they're on now. And you know, it's rough for them, but it's good for us. So, you know, picked up a nice dub last night. JT came in 6th inning and hit another. He hit a home run, 2-run shot. So, you know, great game out of Phillies. They came out and they not only beat the team they were supposed to beat, but they whooped their butts, man. They really laid it on them, and they came out and dominated. So that was great. Right now, you know, going into the dog days of August into September, we are now sitting at 59-48, 1 game out in front for that 3rd wild card spot in front of the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are 58-49, and we have to look at this home stretch, see what the schedule looks like, because right now we're in a pretty good spot. We're 5.5 games, I believe. Let's see. I believe we were 5.5 games back. No, 4 games back of Atlanta, and 9.5 games back of the New York Mets for the division. But we are 4 games back of the Braves for one of those wild card spots. Okay, and then we are a half a game back of the San Diego Padres for the 2nd wild card spot. So we're right in the thick of things. Really, the only team that we're really looking out for right now is the Brewers. The next closest team is the San Francisco Giants, and they're 7 games back of us. So we're in pretty good shape there. It's really about fighting for positioning, because this year we have the 12-team playoff format. So 6 teams on each side, 3 division winners, and then 3 wild card winners. So it's really about staying healthy, playing hard down the stretch, and really trying to jockey for position. And I'm going to throw out a couple of scenarios because it's going to get very spicy going down the stretch. Because this month, we have 7 games against the Mets. We have a 3-game series coming up from the 12th to the 14th, and then we have a 4-game series on the very next week from the 19th to the 21st, with the 20th being a doubleheader between the Phillies and the Mets. So that's a really good chance to make up a lot of ground and really sharpen the blade, because we're going to have to play teams of their caliber. So you might as well get used to playing against that caliber of team and being successful, especially with the pitching starting to pick up, which we're going to get in a minute or two. But right now, you have the Dodgers, one of the best teams in baseball. They play the Brewers, who I just mentioned, 7 times this month. So that bodes really well for us. The Dodgers are 74-33 with the best record in the majors, I believe. And best record in the majors. And they're going to play them 7 times. So we get a chance to hopefully see them beat up on the Brewers and knock them a little farther back. Because really our main test is the Mets. So we have the Mets, they have the Dodgers, but we get the Marlins, and then we get the Reds, who are not that good. Get the Reds 7 times. So that's what I like to see. Now, in terms of the division, obviously we play the Mets 7 times, so that is what it is. But the Braves, who are 4 games ahead of us, they play the Mets coming up. They play the Mets today at 4:10. Then they play the Mets next week, the 15th to the 18th, 4-game series. So that's one going to hopefully they have some success and pull the Mets a little closer into range, or if the Mets beat up on them, they allow us to catch up with the Braves. Either way, I think this can work out very well for us in terms of playoff positioning in August, getting ourselves in a position to give ourselves the best chance to have home field advantage in whatever series we play in. So we'll see. We would like to get a chance to at least get a sniff at the division title, but we'll see how this month plays out. And then, with that being said, let's go ahead and look into the starting pitching, some of the moves that were made, and the way the starting pitching looks. Because we already know that the lineup is, we're bombing the ball out the park. That has not been an issue, and we've been hitting the ball well, even without Bryce Harper, who hopefully will be back in September. But the pitching has got much better. Zack having a great year, 10-5, 2.69 ERA, 120 innings pitched, 129 strikeouts, and opponents are only hitting 218 off of him, with walks and hits per inning pitched, only 1.01. Very, very good numbers right there. And strikeouts per 9, he's striking out 9.6 batters per 9 inning. So that's really, really good. And you look at second in command, Aaron Nola, who's having a bounce back season. He's been wildly inconsistent over his 7 years with the Phillies. You know, a few years back, if you recall, he was a Cy Young Award winner candidate. I mean, he was pitching phenomenally, and then he'll come back the next season and just be off. Similar to kind of what we saw with Cole Hamels years ago, when we saw him lead that World Series team to a title. And then the next year, wildly inconsistent, especially in that World Series against the Yankees. He just was all over the place. Command wasn't there. Changeup wasn't breaking the way it was supposed to. So, but the talent was always there, and we're seeing that with Aaron Nola bouncing back this year. He's 7-8 this year with a 3.25 ERA, which is a very nice ERA. He's brought it down, especially as of recent. 138 innings pitched. I think that's second in the majors. He's in the top 2 in innings pitched, so he's putting in the work. His whip is only .94. That's really, really good. He does not walk people. He does not give up a lot of hits per 9 innings. Batters are only again, hitting .218 off of him. Same as with Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler was a Cy Young Award candidate last year, right? And then strikeouts per 9. His strikeouts per 9 inning is even a little bit higher than Zack Wheeler's. His sitting at 9.87. So he's starting to pick it up. So you have your 1-2 punch there. And then they just traded for Noah Syndergaard, who's coming off that Tommy John surgery. And look, it was Zach Eflin before he went out. He was doing all right. He was solid. 4.37 ERA. He's not killing you. You know, teams are hitting 251 off of him, but it leaves something to be desired, right? And in my opinion, if Noah Syndergaard can be half of what he was prior to the surgery, that would be an upgrade over a Zach Eflin. Even right now, we just saw his first start a couple days ago. He's still throwing 94, 95, even as he recovers from that surgery. Even if he didn't get back to throwing 99, 100 miles an hour, I like Noah Syndergaard as is. I think it's a definite upgrade. And then your fourth guy in that rotation would be Kyle Gibson, 7-4. He was coming off a really good year last year. ERA's a little bit up there, but guys are only hitting 238 off of him. He gives you solid starts. He eats innings, you know. So that he's solid. And then you have Ranger Suarez, who just had a really good game last night. 8-5, 3.68 ERA, pretty solid. And people are hitting 258 off of him. He has to work on that, but he's still giving you he gives you solid starts, and that's what you can expect. So if you're what you can hope for out of a rotation. So if you have 5 guys, Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola, hopefully let's say he's not high octane, let's say he's 89 unleaded. We'll take that. It's still better than 87 unleaded. You know what I mean? And 95 coming from him with the nasty secondary pitches that he has. I like that. I like that. That was a very underrated pickup, along with Robertson in the bullpen. And then Kyle Gibson and Ranger Suarez is a pretty solid rotation. So I think that will bode well for us going into the dog days of August and then the race for Red October. Okay? So those are the things that stand out for me, what I'm expecting moving forward in these next 2 months. And then specifically, I want to go ahead and take a look at Aaron Nola, because he's really stepped up. As I've said before, he's coming in to this game today, 135 against the Nats, with a 3.25 ERA. And he's been doing much better, and I think a big part of that is that he's using his sinker a lot more than he has in previous years. And the sinker was something that he used a lot early in his career, 2015, 2016. You're talking about in 2015, he used the sinker about 32% of the time. In 2016, he used it about almost 50% of the time. And then over the past couple of years, he just has not used it. He's relied more on his four-seam fastball, and he's got hit around a lot in the past, I would say, 2 years. And now this year, he's starting to bring that sinker usage back. And teams are not hitting the sinker well when they do get contact on it. He's not throwing it as a pitch that misses, he gets a lot of swings and misses, but he throws it in the zone. He gets good outcomes when people do make contact. So he's getting a lot more ground balls now than he was before. When he was throwing, just relying on his fastball, his four-seamer, he was getting hit pretty hard and he was giving up more home runs. He was a lot more inconsistent. And then secondly, his location is a lot better this year, and he's making less mistakes at inopportune times. You would see Aaron Nola have a stretch of 4 or 5 solid to dominant innings, and then in the 6th inning, the wheels would just fall off the train. And you're not seeing that this year, which is due in part to his four-seamer is more effective, and then he's throwing his sinker more. He's locating it, and it's more effective because of his fastball. He is working his sinker off of his fastball. If you can throw your fastball, your four-seamer consistently, locate it well, then when you throw your sinker and you have that movement, you have that drop. You see what seems to be a fastball coming towards you, and then it suddenly drops. It has that break from the spin on the sinker. that makes your sinker very effective. So that is really the bread and butter for him. And then obviously he mixes in the curveball, the knuckle curve, and that just makes him, when he's really on with those 3 pitches, he can be devastating. So those are some of the reasons that I think that he's been more successful, and it's going to really make this Phillies team have a good shot to reach the postseason in a better position in terms of their playoff seeding if you have Zack Wheeler and Aaron Nola really playing at a high level. So let me know what you guys think. I really like what I've been seeing recently out the Phillies, and we're going to see them and follow their progression through these next couple weeks and see how they heat up as we get closer and closer to seeing Bryce Harper come back healthy. That's it for this episode. We're getting ready to watch the game today, and we're going to watch the man of the hour that we just talked about. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and I will holler at you guys on the next episode. Peace.